What's goody in Djibouti? Hey guys, sounding good? It's your boy Mike Goodman. Wanted to talk about some positive stuff. Um, Feels like there's a lot of negativity going on in today's times, and yeah, just wanted to kind of lock back in, kind of talk about why hate and fear drive so much engagement on social media, and that's a lot of times mainly what we see. Yeah, just want to talk about how hate and fear drive engagement on social media, and that's unfortunately because they're very powerful psychological, emotional, and neurological responses that humans unfortunately have been hardwired to react to. Sad part is these platforms didn't invent these reactions, but they absolutely exploit them to the max. So here's a clear breakdown on how fear and hate drive engagement on social media. Fear and hate trigger strong emotions, and strong emotions are often gain more attention internally. So, be it content that's going to spark anger, outrage, fear, disgust. I mean, these all are things that activates the amygdala in the brain's threat center, and this makes people, stop scrolling, focus intensely, react quickly, and share impulsively. So neutral and positive content unfortunately just doesn't slap the same and create the same sense of urgency. So uh, next part is kind of just how the social media algorithms, they unfortunately reward high engagement, not high quality. And this goes for platforms like Facebook, TikTok, X, even YouTube. They don't care what emotion you feel because they care how intensely you react. Fear and hate often lead to more comments like, I can't believe they said this. This is insane. More shares, longer watch times, more quotes, tweets, and arguments. This constant going back and forth fighting of whataboutisms and, like, to the algorithm, conflict looks like success to them. So uh, it just boosts the posts even more because it knows what naturally takes off. And negative emotions spread faster than positive ones. I can definitely tell you this. It's like you hear one negative headline or you have one bad back and forth. You're you're heated, you want to do something, you want to get in front of something, right? But positive ones, it's like I feel like we have to say these over and over like we're curling our biceps, you know what I mean? So yeah, just like I said, it's like a muscle. You got to build it, you got to keep using it, otherwise like any muscle it turns into atrophy. So yeah, unfortunately, negative emotions spread faster than positive ones, like I was saying. So, negative content gets spread faster by people pushing it, sharing it to Reddit, to TikTok, to Facebook, wherever, they can get more engagement. And that, of course, comes with a dopamine hit, too. So it's a double edged sword because negative headlines get more clicks, outrage posts are amplified the quickest, and fear based posts get shared in a panic. This type of thing is called negativity dominance, and humans unfortunately pay more attention to these type of threats. So, fear and hate creates this thing of a in-group versus out-group, identity boosts. And what that means is when content says, "Hey, these people are destroying everything or our way of life," or they're coming for your rights, we're the ones who get it. um, it just creates psychological reward that that you're belonging to the cool group, the in group, the correct group. And what that means is people feel validated, morally superior, and part of a community, a tribe. Tribalism has always been part of this country, and just look at politics in this country, and that should tell you a lot about groups and how group thought comes about. So fear-based content will keep people hooked. What do I mean by that? Doom scrolling. You know exactly what I mean when I'm talking about doom scrolling, right? So, fear makes people seek more information. I can't tell you how much. Perfect example of how true this is. When people are sick, and we're not going to the doctor, but we want to self-validate, self-diagnose. You go to that horrible WebMD website, and you put enough symptoms in, it'll say, "Well, it sounds like you have cancer or you're dying." So, and then of course that I'm sure makes you feel a lot better too. So, um, yeah, it's kind of the same thing. Social media uses these to keep you scrolling by feeding you threats, scandals, disasters, conspiracies, outrage clips. I know when scandals especially kind of hit, it then drives everyone to, oh, who is this person? Who is the victim? Who is the aggressor? Right? Where do they come from? Or which political party are they affiliated with? Right? That right there is you're just looking for division, when unfortunately we need to look for more commonalities. And I say this in a general sense. I don't mean this in any narrow swath. So just keep that in mind. That, like I said, we all could benefit from just being nicer to each other, polite, not cutting people off, not barking down their throat, trying to convince them of what you believe is truth and reality. Um, Also, it creates outrage in the addictive feedback loop. So when someone posts something that's shocking, hateful, unfortunately, they'll get several of these things, which could come in the form of likes, replies, reactions, and even more visibility by other people, sharing it or platforming it, as we call it. This social reward system reinforces this behavior. More outrage, more engagements, more visibility, more outrage. It's just a loop that just keeps on going and going. So, um, and yeah, the reality is that platforms profit from this kind of engagement. So hate and fear are actually good for business, believe it or not, because an angry user usually equates to an active user. An active user usually means more ads are shown, and when more ads are shown, typically more revenue is gained. So even when social media's claim that they are fighting, misinformation or hate, at the end of the day, their core incentive is to structure rewards and to reward anything that keeps people online longer. And the reality is that fear and hate do exactly that. So just to kind of wrap it up, if you just didn't want to hear me ramble for however long I'm talking, this I guess would be the TLDR part. Too long, didn't read, didn't listen. So hate and fear drive engagement on social media because they're biologically powerful, algorithmically rewarded, socially validating, and financially profitable. Positive comments feel good, but hate and fear keeps you coming back for more. All right, guys, thanks for hanging in there with me. I hope you have a great Black Friday. Save your money. The sales are all crap and scams, and they're just trying to make more money off you today. So stay strong and have a great night. Peace.